Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Knight of Squires and welcome back to Warhammer Total War 2. This is a multiplayer game. Today we're going to have a series of battles between Mandos, playing the High Elves, the Empire and Norska, versus KoS, who is playing Vampire Counts, Vampire Coast and the Lizardmen. So, without further ado, we're going to get right on into the first battle. This is the last battle for this round of the tournament. After today, we will move on to round 2 with a different matchup series. Same players, but different matchups. Same factions, and we will see how they do going forward. For those of you keeping track, so far we have Hydroneth and Balian 97 are on 1 loss each, and Isranair and Lunacy of Fenris have 1 win each. This is the last last match of round 1, so we'll see how this goes at the end of this. So without further ado, I shall begin the first battle. So here we go. We've got first off the Vampire Counts with KoS, Isabella von Karstein giving a load of regeneration and a lot of very powerful spells, and a decent melee combatant in and of herself. She's armoured and has melee expert with some good stats all the way along. Then we've got some zombies, and skeleton spearmen, cairn wraiths, which with the ethereal giving a huge magic resistance is going to be absolute monster of a unit to try and take out for the Empire over here. We've also got some Graveguard with great weapons for chewing through armour, some dire wolves and fellbats to get around the flanks, a Vargulf for just a really solid punch in the middle, and 2 corpse carts with unholy lodestone as a good central regeneration point, going to make this vampire army very difficult to stop. Over on the other side, we've got Middenland, specifically within the Empire. We've got Boris Todbringer, the man himself, and a fire wizard, looking, I think, to get rid of some of that regeneration by hitting it with fire damage. 3 units of Empire Spearmen with shields. The shields possibly not hugely useful, as I don't think there's a whole lot of missiles in this opposing force, given that it's vampire counts. 2 units of Halberdiers for the bonus versus large. Some crossbowmen. The Deathjacks, which have stalk, so she'll be really good at sneaking around and finding those high-profile targets. We're going to pause that and look at the deployments and carry on going through some of the Empire stuff. The Deathjacks over on this flank to help with their stalk and sniping will help to just pincer and just get rid of high-value targets. Although with them all the way over here, not using their Vanguard deployment, potentially missing out on a little bit of the value of the unit there. 2 units of handgunners should help to just take down any larger targets. This deployment with the spearmen up in front, flanked by the halberdiers and all of the ranged units nicely behind. The 2 mortars should hopefully do a lot of damage on the way in, just to clear out some of those chaff units like skeletons and zombies. Both the lords are on both characters are on flying mounts, with the fire wizard on a Pegasus and Boris on a Griffin. Look at this go. Boris does have the Midland Runefang along with a couple of other bits and pieces, so that will give him some solid regeneration while he's in combat and make him a very difficult threat to deal with for the vampires. They're probably going to have to get a Vargulf on him just to get rid of him. The fire wizard has the burning head and I believe the Flaming Sword of Ruin there, along with a couple of others. That should help to really just shred some of the vampire units. Speaking of which, we appear to have 2 units. The 2 units of direwolves are actually behind the Empire lines, hiding behind the Knights of the Blazing Sun with their flaming magical attacks and the Empire Knights. That is going to be... Hopefully they don't just run out and engage them. I think they're probably going to go for the artillery, but it means that the cavalry are going to really just rush straight into them. I don't know if they're going to get a whole lot of use out of them. Over on the vampire side, the deployment is largely what you would expect. You've got zombies, zombies, and zombies, and zombies, with spearmen behind in a nice solid ranks. The Graveguard with great weapons flanking both units, along with the cairn wraiths flanking as well. The fellbats are up here on one side, looking to swoop round and get some solid kills on some of those perhaps squishier ranged units. and the Vargulf here. This battle, running over this hill, is going to be a little bit Last Samurai-esque for these vampires. But with these two corpse carts and Isabella just chilling here in the middle of this block of infantry, we should potentially see a lot less casualties than you would normally see coming in. So without further ado, we're going to play this out. Let's see how this goes. So immediately it looks like the direwolves are not moving. Nothing is moving just yet. Everybody's kind of chilling. I don't see a whole lot of movement on either side. I think they're making sure that their deployments are good and the vampires are off. Here we go. We have movement. The entire mid-block of skeletons and zombies are trudging over this hill. Corpse carts following them up. The Vargulf is on the move. I think the Fire Wizard, yep, the Bright Wizard is coming forward, probably looking to just burn down some of those units in the middle. And the Empire are holding their position, which could be really dangerous. They still don't know that these dogs are back here. Or wolves, I guess. Sorry for those pedants. Here come the Fellbats. So far, Isabella and this flank haven't moved yet. Everybody's trundling very calmly across the pitch. Here comes the Bright Wizard. I think he's looking to get a good shot on somebody. I don't know who yet. I would recommend personally the Cairn Wraiths, as they're weak to magic and not to anything else. They've got 75% physical resist. And he's waited too long, and now the Fellbats are out in the air. Apparently the mortars are trying to fire at them. I don't see how well that's going to go. The direwolves, on the other hand, are out, and they're in the mortar crews. That is going to be horrendous. Those mortar crews are just gone. That's it. GG mortar crews. They're going. They aren't coming back. And that's it. Those huge artillery pieces got one volley, and that's it. The Fellbats are into the handgunners, and the direwolves have run into the back of the ranged units. Boris is now on the move to try and get rid of them, but this is hugely disrupting to the Empire's lines, giving all of these vampires a really good chance to just get across this pitch. Here comes Isabella. It doesn't look like anybody's particularly running. No, all these guys are moving. They're not moving fast, but they've got some... Oh, that's a burning head right through the middle of those Cairn Wraiths. Doesn't take out a model, but certainly puts some hurt on those models there. The Blazing Sun and the normal Empire Knights are widening this flank. They're coming round, all the while trying to deal with these bats and these direwolves. The Cairn Wraiths are in. They're in the middle. It's all going. The bats are gone. They finally crumbled out of existence, but these Cairn Wraiths are just tying up these spearmen and both units of halberdiers. The mortar crew have rallied, but they're all the way over there, and I think all their guns are... No, their guns are still there, but they've rallied and they're all the way over there not doing anything. These direwolves are crumbling, but they have more than made their points back in how long it took to properly recover from their assault. The Vargulf is in the spearman, but he's decided that's not where he wants to be. And more fire magic just melting zombies left, right and centre. Look at all these corpses. And Isabella absolutely not dealing with this. She's going to chill here, casting all the magics as the zombies and skeletons just slowly march along. The Graveguard with great weapons going in. And oh my, this is not looking good for the Empire. They've been completely surrounded almost. This entire flank here is just crumbling inwards. The crossbowmen looking to get some lines of fire into these units of skeleton spearmen coming in. Zombies are crumbling left, right and centre. Here they go. Graveguard are crumbling as well. I don't know what is causing all of these breaks. Where are the cavalry? They're just over here not really doing anything. But these units are just falling down left, right and centre. I think it's all the magic coming in. Another fireball goes lancing straight, and oh, that's a huge huge 10 models just dead. Huge fireball going straight in. Skeleton spearmen into these spearmen and halberdiers. Big chunk of units in the middle now. Everything's going on. And I think the cavalry have come in. They're coming in around the back into both the corpse carts while the crossbowmen just fire in. I'm not going to lie. The mortar crews are rejoining their guns. And this could be a very dangerous thing for the vampires. Their units are huge and they're all bunched up. But right now, the mortar crews are just going to be raining death in any moment. Spearmen chasing off these crossbowmen while the deathjacks just fire into them, killing model after model. The Vargulf. Boris is coming after the Vargulf. And I'm not going to lie, with a rear charge like that, damage sustained from Boris, it's just going to crumble. It's gone. That's that dead. Unit of zombies coming and eating these handgunners. Nice summoned units there. The fire wizard floating over the lot, just raining death down on the Cairn race, trying desperately to remove this magical ethereal unit. Spearmen chasing the deathjacks, being shot by the crossbowmen. It's kind of a back and forth sort of show over there, and now the mortars are firing in to this huge squad of zombies. I think that was some friendly fire on those halberdiers for a second there. We lost a few halberdiers to that, but that'll happen. Boris is engaging with I think it's a zombie unit that are crumbled, but Boris versus Isabella von Carstein. It doesn't appear to be going overly well for Boris, who is just getting at, like, he's losing health faster than Isabella is, and now the Cairn Wraiths are in the back. He needs to possibly get out of there. But all the while, the Pistoliers that I'd completely forgotten were even here have come flying around, gunned down both corpse carts. I don't know when the other one died, but they're dead. And just scything into these skeleton spearmen, which do have shields, so will be a little resistant to that. But all the while, these spearmen are running, but everything is starting to crumble on the vampire lines. Like, I can see a lot of crumbling units. The mortars are once again under siege, but the halberdiers have come to try and drag these skeletons and zombies away in the hopes that that's going to keep them alive and keep them firing. Boris has decided that this is not the fight he wants to take and has taken back to the air, whilst Isabella eats more fire from this Bright Wizard, who is completely surrounded by Graveguard with great weapons, as Isabella comes in to see him off. Well, I'll be interested to see how this fight goes. Those handgunners over in the distance appear to have rallied. The mortar crew still firing, although I think there's only one gun left. The Cairn Wraiths are somewhat interrupting, but that one mortar shell is going to come all the way out here to deal with this wad of spearmen here trying to kill Boris. Both are misses, and the Pistoliers just shooting into these spearmen, I assume. No, they appear to have run completely out of ammo, so are just standing here looking sorry for themselves. These spearmen units are all crumbling, however. It's not great. They're all going. Bye-bye, spearmen. Look at that. Look at those numbers just dropping. That's unfortunate. The spearmen here, the Empire units are slowly gathering themselves. The cavalry have pulled back. And out of the woods come these spearmen again, with the Bright Wizard has survived his duel with Isabella and is on about half HP, chilling up there. I don't know how much more magic he's going to have. He's used a lot. I've seen a lot of fireballs, burning heads, conflagrations, all sorts going off. Cairn Wraiths are still in the game. These minus 75% damage from physical sources is absolutely brutal. Another summoned unit of zombies coming right into the back of these halberdiers, and they've had enough for today. I think they're going to give that a run. I don't know if they're going to make it back. The Cairn Wraiths might just chase them off the board. The mortar crew have once again decided that today is not their day. That unit of halberdiers over there is broken. This unit over here is broken. We've lost all of the rear. They're completely in the rear gone. Just gone. These Graveguard, and now with less things to be microing, Mandos is doing a stellar job just cycle charging these 2 cavalry units into these Graveguard over and over and over again. The Knights of the Blazing Sun have still got 32 models, while the Empire Knights have got 18. Those spearmen aren't coming back. These have rallied, these halberdiers, and Boris is still floating over the now collected remnants of the Empire army. Everything's pulling back. I'm not going to lie, it looks like the amount of units that the vampires have left, I don't see how they can pull this off. Isabella is a force to be reckoned with at full HP, thanks to the regen that she's got, but with so few units, it's going to be difficult. Those Cairn Wraiths have to be really worried about the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And Boris, of course. This Cairn Wraith unit up here has chased off those spearmen that it was chasing and has finally come back to the fight. The battle lines are forming up again. There's a lot of ranged firepower still on this side. They've still got most of their ammo. This crossbow unit's still got about 1/3 of theirs and 2/3 of theirs. That's the crossbowman. That means that's the Deathjacks. The Fire Wizard launches another fireball. Is it going straight into those Cairn Wraiths? It misses a little and hits a load of zombies. Cairn Wraiths have got still 22 of their 45 models, and that unit over there has got 44. But they're quite badly damaged by comparison. Crossbow shots going into those Cairn Wraiths, not going to do a huge amount, but the binding is weakening. And I don't see how they're going to waver. Critical binding, they're going to start collapsing any second now, and that's going to be them done. That is a lot of firepower coming their way. They've begun crumbling. It's going to be down to Isabella just absolutely punching everyone, summoning another unit of zombies. I don't know how many more of these she's got, but more zombie summons. This unit of spearmen is probably done today. Boris is coming into these zombies to keep them off of the crossbowmen. The pistoliers have come in the other flank. These zombies are crumbling right off the bat. Uh-oh. And is this going to be... Yep, that's a... Scab Scraith going right the way across, I think that was. That's going to be a little painful for those pistoliers. I don't know where Boris has gone. He's wandered over here. The Cairn Wraiths are finally dying. There's only what they're gone. This unit, however, still got a lot of models and has still got a good binding. These zombies critically binding, animated, dying any moment, plummeting into the ground. The balance of power is pushing into the Empire's favour, but I think the big thing here is these 2 big cavalry units, and Isabella has very little way of dealing with them because they're just going to knock her flying back and forth over and over and over again. All the while, the Deathjacks and the crossbowmen are just firing into these units of zombies. Isabella's going, and the Deathjacks are having absolutely none of it. Isabella changes direction again. That unit's broken. They're not coming back. The Empire Knights have pulled back. They are so badly damaged, and they're not looking too hot either. Isabella is in and amongst these Graveguard, coming after these Deathjacks. I think they're a little faster than she is, at the speed of 33 versus 40. No, she is faster, but it's uphill. And they're just gonna keep going. I don't know where they're going, but they're off. The pistoliers are being chased down by these, zombies. They're not chasing anybody, let's be honest. They're crumbling. They're dead. Gone. That's all of them dead. What have we got left? These Empire Knights have broken. The Cairn Wraiths obviously saw them off. The Knights of the Blazing Sun, I think it's going to be an Empire victory. I don't know what the vampires can do about this, really. These Graveguard, critical binding, they're going to start crumbling any moment, and in comes Boris to finish off the Graveguard. Crash. And there it goes. Their binding is broken. They're starting to sustain damage. They're crumbling. They're not going to be around much longer. And then it'll be just the Cairn Wraiths who are getting cycle charged back and forth by the Empire. They're shattering, they're crumbling, debilitated. It's just down to Isabella, who, whilst at basically full health, is getting knocked backwards and forwards by the Empire Knights and the Blazing Sun and the Pistoliers. And here's Boris. She's coming in to come after Boris. She's not going to have any friends because these Graveguard are going to be gone any second, I think. Boris decides he doesn't want to duel her one-on-one and is instead going to leave that and wait till the rest of her army is done and just mob in. This is a long and drawn out fight, as it always is when the undead are involved, because nothing runs away. And there goes pretty much the last of the leadership for the Graveguard. 11 models left. Boris is just absolutely man-moding all the way through all of these. He has 89 kills. Isabella has 6, but she's been doing a lot of summoning, so it's a little different. There goes the last of the Graveguard. Fireball into those Cairn Wraiths, sets them crumbling. Down to 21 models. Dropping health like no tomorrow. Charged by the cavalry, knocking models flying, and then it seems to be just Isabella versus Boris at the end. Last ditch effort by the Cairn Wraiths to be relevant. They've got 140 kills. They have more than made their gold costs worth. But Isabella just getting knocked back and forth, going after the crossbowman along with the Cairn Wraith. There's 2 of them left. There's one. He's gone. That's them dead. No more Cairn Wraiths. It's just Isabella. I am surprised Cordav doesn't just concede at this stage, but Isabella is a bit of a monster in and of herself, with the hunger meaning that she just regenerates. She's on basically full health. She's just gonna chase these crossbowmen. The entire Empire army looks on in dismay as she comes and just chases down this one crossbow unit, engaging a few. Let's get a couple of close-up looks as she just backflips over that guy, but Boris has come down on top of her, knocking her down. And then the cavalry knocking her down again. That man spit her on a lance, knocking her over and over and over again. I've lost where she's gone. She's in the middle here somewhere, trampled by 1,000 hooves. Up she gets just in time to get knocked over by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Stabbing, stabbing and stabbing, but I don't see how she survives this. Her health is gone. She's crumbled and gone. Death embraces her finally. And a valiant defeat for the Vampire Counts. Wow, that was a brutal replay right to the end. Let's check the after battle screen. Isabella, I don't know what to say. She held on to the very end with 11 kills. The zombies obviously did basically nothing, as did the skeletons, but the Cairn Wraiths, 123 and 140 kills apiece. Oh my word, they did so much work. The Graveguard getting 83. That unit, I think, took a cavalry charge relatively early on and got massacred. The Fellbats didn't do a whole lot, but they disrupted, which was key. These direwolves got 100 kills. Like, they just went straight in amongst all the cannon, the mortar crews and all the ranged weapons, and just absolutely went to town. The Vargulf, a little disappointing with only 37 kills. I think he picked the wrong targets for the Vargulf and just didn't make the use of it, and it got shot off the table and charged off the table and generally didn't have a nice day. Corpse Carts obviously didn't get any kills. That's not really what they're there for. But all in all, MVPs for the Vampire Counts have got to be the Cairn Wraiths. They were really, really annoying for the Empire to deal with all the way through the game. Over on the Empire's side, this Bright Wizard got 244 kills. Like, he just lit mofos up constantly, just burning vampires, burning skeletons. Boris got 89, The infantry line held up relatively well. There's a lot of kills scattered around there. The ranged units, the handgunners, were a bit disappointing. I think they got taken out relatively early, but the crossbowmen and the deathjacks more than made up for that. The knights with 74 and 69 kills, you can't argue with these numbers. These are solid kill counts for cavalry. 106 kills on this mortar. This is the one that survived and came back and made its gold's worth with 106 kills, although I imagine they were mostly on skeletons, so perhaps not actually. This one unfortunately got eaten by dogs very early on and just silenced off the bat. Really good play from KoS. Mandos managing to recover from that and come back at the end. Really good play by both players. These are both pretty skilled at what they're doing. These are, this is KoS's preferred faction, and he more than showed that with these choices and some of these kill counts. So we're going to move on. That's 1-0 to Mandos. We're going to move over to the next game, which I believe is High Elves versus Lizardmen, and I will be back in a moment. So here we have it. We've got the High Elves by Mandos and the Lizardmen by KoS. Mandos has a prince on Sundragon, along with a mage of the Arcana of Fire with Burning Head, Flamestorm, Wrath of Ruin, Flaming Sword of Ruin, Fireball, Shimmering Cloak. A couple of units of Spearmen, a unit of Swordmasters, 2 units of Archers, and 3 units of Sisters of Avalon. It's a lot of firepower here, along with the Ithilmar Chariot and the Regiment of Renowned Illyrian Reavers. So there's a lot of firepower and a little maneuverability here. There's not a whole lot, but there is a little. KoS, on the other hand, has Mazdamundi himself, and a Scarvet, a solid block of infantry with 2 units of spears, 3 units of shields and clubs, 2 units of skink skirmishers, 2 units of Cold One Knights, a Bastillodon with Revivification Crystal, and the Feral Carnosaur. There is a lot of bulk here. There's not a lot of maneuverability. We've got the couple of units of cavalry and the 2 units of skirmishers, but this solid block of infantry in the middle is going to be really hard to take out, as they're all shielded, and I believe they're all armoured as well. This is going to be one hell of a match. So let's have a look at the deployments. First off, we've got Mandos' deployment. Here is the Sundragon. Sundragon is sitting pretty in the back of the army, next to the Fire Mage, who is on a horse, which will allow him to get to exactly where he needs to be to light everything on fire. The Ithilmar Chariots over on the right side, all of these ranged units in the back, 3 units of Sisters of Avalon and 2 units of Archers is just so much firepower to deal with. In front, we've got a very thin line, 2 units of Spearmen and a unit of Swordmasters. I don't know if that's going to be enough to defend this many ranged units, but the Sisters of Avalon are decent in combat anyway, so they might not need quite so much protection. And all the way over here, deep beneath the woods and flanking the this line of Saurus over here, is the Regiment of Renowned Heralds of the Wind, Illyrian Reavers with bows, who are very, very fast and can fire while moving. So that's a nice unit to be flanking with. Over here for the Lizardmen, coming all the way over, we've got 2 units of skinks in these woods here, hiding out nicely and waiting for some unwary elves to wander past. And then the block in the middle, we've got clubs, spears, clubs, spears, clubs. Nice solid infantry block here, all shielded, all got predatory senses, and in some cases predatory instincts. Everybody's got shields. This is a really solid block of infantry to get rid of. The Scarvet here, with again armoured and shielded, armour piercing, anti-large. He's going to be a little bit scary for that Sundragon, also for those chariots and Illyrian Reavers to deal with. The Feral Carnosaur at the back here, big T-Rex waiting for a snack on some elves. The Bastillodon with the Revivification Crystal, try saying that 3 times quickly, to keep all of this alive and make it even more difficult for them to get around anything it's really dangerous, actually. Resurrects dead combatants, restores up to 624 hit points, and heals the injured. It will be a real pain if he just starts healing all of these lizards with it. And then finally, we have Mazdamundi himself, who has, quite frankly, I think every spell is available to him. Ruination of Cities, Banishment is a really powerful vortex spell, causes quite a lot of damage. Shield of the Old Ones, Arcane Unforging, Apotheosis, more healing. Comet of Cassandora for just some big no thank you areas. Curse of the Midnight Wind, debuffs. Harmonic Convergence, buffs for his allies. Net of Amontok will be really dangerous for those chariots, because if it lands at the wrong moment, they're going to get massacred. Greater Arcane Conduit and Roiling Skies. Roiling Skies could be really dangerous for things like that Sun Dragon, and just pinning him in place, basically. Not quite, but for want of a better phrase, minus 24% speed is not going to be anything to sniff at. And then all the way over here, again, deep in these woods, are 2 units of Saurus Cold One Riders. So, let's see how this match goes. It's not... I'm still a little wary about protecting this many ranged units with only 3 infantry, but we will see how it goes. Beginning now. So, the obligatory few seconds to wander about and check what's going on. And then here comes the infantry, moving up already. The Saurus are on the march. Look at this, just a block of huge dinosaur infantry coming thundering along, increasing the frontage of their army. The cavalry are moving on the flanks here. The skinks are still waiting patiently. And the Illyrian Reavers have yet to break the cover of the woods. The High Elves have changed the facing of their army ever so slightly, assuming in response to this large block of infantry coming around this side. Coming around sort of over here. Although there's still the Scarvet and this unit over here, and the Feral Carnosaur is just absolutely going for it. He doesn't feel like waiting. Although saying that, he has now stopped there. The Illyrian Reavers have still yet to move, and the cavalry are slowly making their way through the woods all the way around. I think this is the match that we saw Izruner versus Hydroneth on, and is a very similar tactic of working your way around the woods. Only we saw it from this side, so we're going to watch it from this side today. The Illyrian Reavers still haven't moved. I think they're hoping to get a really good rear charge or rear arrow volley in. The Bastillodon is a little further forward than the rest of the infantry line, but everybody is solidly building themselves along here. And here comes a fireball straight at the dinosaur. Dodged most of it, took a little bit of damage, but only a very small amount. Now here come the lizard men, with this Carnosaur absolutely charging headlong in. Where did the High Elves go? Here they are. That cavalry is snuck round behind the prince, who is floating up in the air here. He's pulling back. This is such a long map. I'm really surprised at how big this map is. They appear to have taken predominantly infantry forces in what is, quite frankly, an unnecessarily large map. Forming that large block of spears with the swordmasters in the middle, hoping that they will be able to hold and spears can get in the flanks. The cavalry have been spotted by the prince over here, so there's no hiding for them anymore. Here comes that flaming breath into the middle of those cavalry. Doesn't do a huge amount, kills only 2 models, but does, do a little bit of HP damage to the rest of them. In the meantime, the Sisters of Avalon and the archers have decided that this unit of spearmen needs to go. That Flamestorm didn't go the direction that Mandos wanted it, and off into the grass it goes. The prince still dealing with those cavalry. No, he's coming back now. But some explosions going on. In comes the Athilmar chariots into the side of these Saurus warriors, and it is it's such a crashing impact. And those Sisters of Avalon are just shooting in now. That unit has broken, perhaps unsurprisingly, and these are into the Swordmasters now. The dinosaur has gone right through the spearmen and into the archer unit. Oh, that is so brutal. He's just crushing them left and right. The Sun Dragon has come down onto the Saurus Scarvet. These guys are wavering. These Saurus warriors don't want to be here anymore. The archers are pulling back as the dinosaur just runs through them. Absolutely runs through them. So an apotheosis going down on these guys to heal them up. The Illyrian Reavers firing into the skink skirmishers in the back. I feel like this is a little bit of a late play from the Illyrian Reavers. The net of Amantok has gone down on the Sun Dragon, but nobody really seems to have done anything about it other than just let him be. The Carnosaur is having a field day with all these archer units. Back and forth. The spearmen desperately chasing after him. The Bastillodon is in the middle of the Swordmasters, knocking them about, keeping this guy alive wherever possible. And off he goes into the back of the spearman. Bang! But that's left him open to some of these Sisters of Avalon to just shoot him in the back. Oh, that's a bit rough. Mazdamundi sat out here, not really doing very much. I assume casting magics and sending people back into the fray. These Illyrian Reavers still shooting these skinks who don't appear to be doing a whole lot anyway. And in comes this Cold One cavalry into the back of the archer line. This is not what we wanted. The Flame Wizard getting bumped by this one Cold One and shot by this Bastillodon. I think he's about to use potentially... Oh, there's a banishment. Centered on the Bastillodon. That is a lot of archers just ripped out of existence by banishment. Oh, that's brutal. But gone. That is Mazdamundi taking names. 35 kills already as the banishment just rips through his own men. But just ignored completely. These spearmen trying to take out this rampaging dinosaur who's honestly having lunch. He's having a great time. The block of Saurus infantry here just refusing to go anywhere. The Sun Dragon coming down on the Bastillodon and on the Cold Ones. He needs to be careful because that feral Carnosaur might just decide that it's coming over here for dinner. The Sun Dragon taking a wander. The Bastillodon is kicking him about. Units of archers are breaking. This is some spell or other. What's coming down here? Oh, yeah, that's a bit brutal. Just more, that's the whole swordsman unit. Ripped through. Units rampaging everywhere. And the big old bubble of nope going down. It's a load of defense bonuses. Shield of the old ones. Big old bubble of no thank you. Makes these units really hard to get rid of as this rampaging dinosaur just eats archers, spearmen and swordsmen for lunch. These spearmen come into these units. I don't think that's going to work very well. They're going to just batter them around. This chariot has decided that the chariots and the Illyrian Reavers have decided that they're going to bash Mazdamundi's face in, but all the while 2 units of skink skirmishers just firing into them. The Illyrian Reavers taking a ton of damage as these chariots try desperately to break back out. The archers have rallied, but they're all the way over there now. This unit of spearmen is coming to help Mazdamundi out because he's looking a little worse for wear. But there is so many corpses here. The Sun Dragon has caused this Carnosaur to waver, and he's decided to go and find easier pickings. He's kind of recovered a little, and then the archer fire is coming back in on him. I don't see him being much longer for this world. Archers interrupted by this Bastillodon again. Here is the cavalry, just this whole unit of cavalry is just here trying to eat this this prince. There goes another banishment. going the wrong way for Mazdamundi, unfortunately. Off into the nothingness. Nope. I thought it might come and suck this mage into the void, but unfortunately not. It is going to potentially come hit these sisters. No, it runs out just a little early. The prince is absolutely just man-moding these Saurus. But here come 2 more units. Mazdamundi is now... Curse the net of Amantok. He's going nowhere. Oh no, that's a unit of spearmen. He's going nowhere. The sisters are shooting in, trying to clear him off. Stopping everything, trying to get to the Lord, who is not going anywhere at the moment. Swordmasters are coming to intervene. God, that net lasts so long. But another shield of the old ones. I don't think this prince is going anywhere anytime soon. His health is dropping from the number of spears and clubs and whatnots. Still getting shot by this Bastiladon. The prince manages to pull himself away, I think. No, he's wavering. The Sisters of Avalon firing it again. I don't know what that was aiming for. I don't think that hit anything. I think this mage may have pulled away at the right moment there. The prince is broken. He's running. The balance of power is still relatively even, I think, thanks to these Sisters of Avalon and archer units sitting back here, just absolutely annihilating everything in front of them. Apotheosis gone down on these Swords Warriors, healing them up. And here comes Mazdamundi. I don't know how much magic he can possibly have left at this point. Sisters of Avalon have broken that unit. Here comes Mazdamundi. Eats an entire volley of sisters right to the face. And the prince comes down on top of him. Is this going to be it? Is this it for Mazdamundi? I'm not going to lie, that's a lot of damage on the prince. He is not looking healthy. I don't see how he survives this. Apologies. A bit of a cough there. Mazdamundi is wavering. He might be about to die. That is a lot of damage he's taken. These frenzying Saurus, he's gone in. The prince has gone in to stop him hitting the Sisters of Avalon. But he might not survive this. He's only got 400 health left. This unit of Saurus have spears and clubs. He has broken both units though. Giant terror-causing entities are handy for that. But he's only got 130 health left. Mazdamundi has 39. One casual shot from this unit of archers might just get him. Here come the sisters into these Saurus units. Let's get rid of the last few of them. But Mazdamundi, fleeing the battlefield with 39 health, is rallying. And here come the skink skirmishers. I think they're just going to get a shot and kill that lord off. Back comes the Bastiladon, and nope. The Feral Carnosaur was coming back, but he broke when he saw the sisters looking at him with those arrows. Decided he did not want whatever was on offer today. The Bastiladon has broken and is not coming back. Mazdamundi is sitting over there. He has cast Apotheosis on himself, I think, and healed up to 500 health. That is a worrying situation for the elves. Sisters getting shot by skinks over and over and over, and in comes the Carnosaur into the middle of the sisters, killing dozens of them. Just jibbing them. Look at him go. Shield of the old ones going down again. 22% damage resistance. These Swordmasters want nothing to do with this. They're shattered. They're not coming back. And the Feral Carnosaur is just eating these Sisters of Avalon. There's 26 of them left. They're breaking any moment now. They're wavering. That's a giant terror-causing dinosaur. And they're broken. Mazdamundi getting shot again from a unit of sisters all the way over here. Trying desperately to escape with his 400 health. He might need to do some magic or something to get rid of these guys. They're so far away. Or not, because here comes a big old dino. He's going to chase them. Probably finish them off if he gets a chance. Although he is wavering. He's sustained an awful lot of damage. He only has 700 health left. But he is catching up. And he is going to get them. And bang! Into the Sisters of Avalon. Who've got 16 models left. They're probably not coming back. The Skinks firing into the Lord. Who's got 95 health. 91, 76. He's broken. The skinks are going to see him off. I think he might die here. I don't think he comes back from this. This unit of sisters, we got some rallying high elf units over here. It's more Sisters of Avalon coming to save the wizard. The sisters have seen off the dinosaur. Very impressive. But the Sun Dragon has got 66 health. He rallies on the edge of the map with 66 health remaining. Comes back to see off these skinks. Does he have any flame breath left? He does. But that's gotta be it. Good night, sweet prince. Shatters off the map. Bye-bye. You're not coming back. Another Shield of the Old Ones. This time on Mazdamundi himself with his 600 health. And that's it. That is the end of that. That was an amazing game. That looked like it was going either way multiple times. There was a lot of breaking units coming back, a lot of back and forth. I really enjoyed watching that. Let's go to the end screen and let's see how that shows up. So here we go. We've got Mandos playing Norska and Kordav playing the Vampire Coast with Count Noctilus. We've got 3 units of deckhands, a couple of units of deckhand polearms, 2 units of depth guard and 1 with polearms. So it's 3 depth guard units in total. 2 pirate gunnery mobs and a pirate gunnery mob with handguns. 2 scurvy dogs and 2 rotting Prometheans. This list has an awful lot of infantry and not very much in the way of ranged firepower, which is somewhat unusual in a Vampire Coast list. But it's got some solid, solid backbone to it with 3 depth guard units. Each of these being vampires mean that all of the models have regeneration while in combat. So the more they can get stuck in, the more they're just going to chew through things. And these 2 are Berserk Axe Infantry, so they attack exceedingly quickly. They do a lot of damage. It's a nice core to an army, flanked by 2 units of Rotting Prometheans. The Scurvy Dogs can tie up anything like, for example, the Marauder Horsemen over here and the Javelins. It's going to be a nice list. But on the other hand, Mandos over here has 2, count them, 2 War Mammoths. These things are huge. 10k health, armoured, armour-piercing, anti-infantry, causing terror. These things are huge. He's got a Fire Sorcerer with the Burning Head, Fireball, Flamestorm, and Searing Bolts of Burning. So a lot of fire spells. Mandos has a thing for fire wizards, I'm learning very quickly. He's also got the Marauder Chieftain on horseback. The Marauder Chieftain, has the Rage ability here, which gives a 135 second duration with going up in stages, +8 leadership and physical resistance, and then additional melee attack for the final 45 seconds. It's a really nice ability that is in fact shared by the Regiment of Renown over here, the Icehorn Marauders, who are shielded axe infantry with 7,000 HP, 90 models, immune to psychology and rage. This is going to be a really nice unit for just chewing through skeletons and zombies over there. There's also some Marauder Spearmen to deal with large targets, some Marauder Berserkers who have the Berserk trait here, which gives them a 90-second buff. It's similar to Rage, but is it does physical resistance followed by melee attack, followed by Rampage. So you lose control of them a little bit, but that's also really, really potent. They've also got Immune Psychology and Frenzy, which is always handy. Couple of units of Marauders here, and then 2 units of Skinwolves, who are werewolves with Frenzy, Anti-Large, and Regenerate. These guys are very, very fast. Very, very good unit. Nice unit of Marauder Hunters here with Javelins for some ranged capability, but it is pretty much the only ranged thing in the list other than the Sorcerer and the Howdars on the back of the War Mammoths. This is Kordav's deployment. We've got the 3 units of ranged here, 3 melee units backed by the polearms, and then the depth guard in the back. Noctilus right behind them over there with pretty much every spell he can have. He's got Invocation of Nehek, Drown Dead, the whole works. The Rotting Prometheans are behind, waiting for some flanks, and then the Scurvy Dogs over here. Finally, right all the way over here, at the back, miles and miles and miles away, is Mandos's Marauder Horsemen Missile Cavalry. Thanks to their Vanguard deployment. They also have Rage, which I think is great, but they're all the way back there waiting for this whole thing to kick off. So, with that in mind, and without further ado, let's get this whole thing to kick off. We'll come all the way back to Mandos's army, and let's see how this goes. So, we're waiting for things to move, and right off the bat, Kordav's army is on the move. Look at it go. This flank is advancing. The vampire counts get that bonus of the extra powder, so their shots do more damage when they've got a lot of ammunition. But here comes the Marauder Cavalry, right up behind. I don't know if Kordav has noticed them yet, but they are coming. Everything in his army is moving forwards, whereas I don't know if Mandos has started moving yet. He has. Everything is going. The War Mammoths are on the move. Here they come. And the Skin Wolves are taking a really long flanking maneuver, but I think these Rotting Prometheans have seen them and are coming after them. The Javelins are coming to shoot into the Prometheans and have actually pulled them away from the Skin Wolves, which is possibly not great because the Skin... Oh, these are also anti-large. This is not the engagements these Rotting Prometheans want. There is not a lot of... these guys are anti-large. Oh, and the Marauder Cavalry are shooting into the Scurvy Dogs that have seen them and have decided to chase them. In come those Javelins into these very large Rotting Prometheans, but they are armoured, so it's unlikely they're going to do a huge amount of damage very early on. Although, saying that, that's quite a sizable chunk. Waiting for these pistols to get in range. The handguns behind them should be getting in range. Oh no, the handguns are over here. In go the Mammoths. Look at that damage. Straight off the bat into these Prometheans. That one is already dead, just knocking them about. And the Berserkers are into the depth guard. Whoop, there's a burning head. Look at that go. Oh, that is huge. That is a large chunk of infantry. Just dead. Very, very sorry, guys. That Pit of Shades was a bit brutal. The infantry with guns have started firing. In comes the Marauder Chieftain into the side of this unit of gunnery mob. What is going on over here? Count Noctilus is about to get... Is he about to get burning headed? No. Oh, there goes the burn. Oh, there goes the searing bolts of burning. But these Mammoths are just in the middle. Look at everything. The depth guard. These are anti-infantry. These do not want to be here. They are crumbling already. The Mammoths are just running amok. Those Marauder Cavalry over there, just kiting these guys back and forth. Brilliant play by Mandos there. Everything is starting to crumble already. All of these ranged units are just not wanting to be here. These Skin Wolves, anti-large, but that doesn't matter. They're just shredding zombies. These guys are wandering back and forth, not sure what they're doing with themselves. The Berserkers have used their rage, and as all the Marauders have used their rage, and they're just going to town on these pirates. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. This unit of Skin Wolves is just chilling here, not really doing a lot. But over here, off goes that burning head. That obviously seared a path through here. There's just nothing these Mammoths are struggling with. They're just eating everything, and that is it for the depth guard. Is this... Please tell me this unit's over here. No. Where is the other depth guard unit? All of them are dead. That's it. This one Mammoth just went to town and ate 3 units of depth guard. That is insane. The Berserkers next to them have anti-infantry, armor piercing. They've just absolutely shredded this. And there goes the last of these depth guard. Pop, pop. Gone. 2 guys there, 5 guys there. This Mammoth just knocking these deckhands left, right and centre. Look at that. They're still going over there, look. All the way over there. Your warriors are rallying, so some of them have fallen back. Noctilus, on the other hand, has decided that these Icehorn Marauders need dealing with personally. And the Fire Wizard is shaken and standing around not doing a lot. Oh, that is such a bunched up unit to get spells dropped on them like that. There's a lot of damage out there. The gunnery mob are crumbling, losing health. I don't see how the vampires recover from this. The two mammoths still at 1/3 and a half health each. With nothing left. This one polearm. I think the only thing left that could take them is Noctilus, and he's all the way over here. And that's it. That's game. Oh, that was brutal. There was just nothing there to deal with those mammoths. Let's go check that battle report end screen. There is nothing there. Noctilus got 15 kills, but all these pirate infantry just shredded with basically no kills. 25 on this deckhand with polearms. The ranged units were effectively neutralized really early on. The depth guard, though, 56, 48, and 74, they got some respectable kills in. There's some good numbers. The Rotting Promethean, I think this one just got stood on by a mammoth super early on. And this one, very similar. Looking over here, however, the Fire Wizard got 90 kills. The Chieftain got 56. The Skinwolves, 94 and 30. The Icehorn Marauders unfortunately only got the one. I assume that's because Noctilus went over and just said no thank you super early on. But the War Mammoths, 163 and 107 kills. These guys, there was just nothing that Kordav could do about them. And the Marauder Horsemen, 34 kills, all on these scurvy dogs, just running them around the back of the map, being like, no thank you, can't touch this. Was really entertaining to see them in the background there. Well, that is unfortunately the end of round 1 of this tournament, with Mandos gaining the win here with 2-1 versus Kordav. Two really close games, finished off a little bit of a massacre there. That was some really brutal losses there to those mammoths. And that will be the end of this video. Stick around. Next week I will be posting up the videos to round 2, which the guys have been playing during this week. I'm going to get these videos up hopefully early next week and get them ready to go so that you can all keep up. The hope is that the final round, which will be being played next week, the top table, I'm going to try and get that live streamed. I'm going to try and talk to the guys who are on the top table and get that live streamed. So please stick around and check out that when it comes around, and check out my other videos here. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider dropping it a like and subscribing to the channel to see more information and see more content like this. Thank you, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.